Welcome to Divorce to Dynamite. I'm Michelle O'Neill. Do y'all remember the scene in the Barbie movie where Barbie travels to the real world and she's sitting on the park bench? And while she's sitting on the park bench, she encounters the elderly woman. She looks over at the elderly woman and she's actually never seen a wrinkled face before. You remember the scene earlier in the movie where Barbie sees her own cellulite when she gets to the real world. And Barbie is horrified by her own cellulite. So the minute that Barbie sees the old wrinkled woman, we immediately think that Barbie's going to be horrified by the wrinkled face, the imperfections of the elderly woman. And we think that she's going to react to the elderly woman the way that Barbie reacted to the imperfections in herself. But in what I think was the most powerful moment in the Barbie movie, Barbie looks at the elderly woman with the most admiring look and simply says, "You are beautiful." And the elderly woman very simply replies, "I know." Now, there are many more popular scenes in the Barbie movie. There are many scenes that have gotten way more publicity in the Barbie movie. There are scenes that I'm sure many of you can quote verbatim from the Barbie movie. But that scene in its simplicity and the very absolute simplicity of the elderly woman's response, the acknowledgement of the elderly woman that she knows she's beautiful, to me is powerful in the message, in the deep-seated message that it sent to me personally, and that I hope that it sent to each of you. And it also, to me, underscores the reasons why we're here, why I started this podcast, and why I started the Divorce to Dynamite community, Facebook community, and in general, the Divorce to Dynamite community. The purpose that I started the Divorce to Dynamite community and this specific podcast was very, very simple, maybe even basic sounding, but for women to support women. For women to simply tell each other, "You're beautiful." And if you don't already know it, and if you're not in a place where you can honestly and genuinely respond and say from your deepest soul, "I know," then here, in this forum, in this community, in this podcast, hopefully something that I say, something that one of my guests says, or something that one of the members of this community says to you can help you believe that you are beautiful. How many of us, I mean, really think about this. How many of us, if somebody walked up to you today and said to you, you're beautiful. How many of us really would have just responded and said, I know? I think the answer to that is probably zero. I mean, I can tell you from my perspective, I would not have responded that way. I can tell you yesterday, somebody said to me, you're so beautiful. And I didn't say, I know. I think I did say thank you. But I think in my mind, I said to myself, no, I'm not. Or I said to myself, I have wrinkles right here. Or I said to myself, if I didn't get my hair colored, I'd have gray hair. Or I said to myself, I weigh too much. Or I could really use some Botox. Or I need to have some other standard different of beauty. But I didn't say to myself, yeah, I know I'm beautiful. On the inside, the internal me said a whole lot of things to myself, my internal self, besides, I know. But how many of us, if told you're beautiful, would have offered disagreement? Oh, no, I'm not. Oh, you're making that up. No, so-and-so's beautiful. I'm not beautiful. How many of us would apologize? You know, apologies are something that as women we are so socialized to give back. We are socialized to apologize for ourselves. We are socialized to offer apology just for the space that we take up in the universe. There are some women that I mentor and some women that I encounter that just simply apologize for speaking their minds. And I try very hard when I encounter women like that to say, stop apologizing. You don't owe me an apology for having an opinion. You don't owe me an apology for me giving you a compliment. How many of us, when told we're beautiful, would have offered self-criticism in response to that? No, I'm not beautiful, my butt's too big. No, I'm not beautiful, I'm too short to be beautiful. No, I'm too beautiful, I'm not beautiful, I'm too old. How many of us would deflect the compliment and would say to the other person, I'm not beautiful, you are? Every day, we are bombarded by society with negative images of what's beautiful. We are told by society that there is a very narrow standard of what is beautiful. We are told by magazines, by the news, by social media, and frankly, by many men, that beauty is only defined by the outward appearance, by a certain height, by a certain weight, by a certain size, by a certain waist circumference, by a certain rear end. Thankfully, Jennifer Lopez has set a new standard for that. By a certain hair color, if you live in the South, even down to the bottle number of the hair color that ladies are given at the hair salon. I'm telling you, I'm in Dallas. We know these things. By a certain bra size, by fake eyelashes, by Botox, by facelifts, by lip injections. We are bombarded by these external emphasis on our physical beauty. And those negative thoughts from these external sources, and some of them, frankly, even come from other women. How many times do you hear even the media, even other women, criticize women by saying things about their external appearances? How many times do you hear reporters ask men what brand of outfit they're wearing for celebrity events? Who are you wearing? But women are asked every time. Those types of negative influences in our external world only beget more negativity if you let them infiltrate your self-image. But what we also know is that positive thoughts encourage positive thinking. From a scientific standpoint, that's called the neurosynapses, the railroad tracks in your mind. And when you build your railroad tracks in your mind with positive thoughts, the scientists will tell you that the more positive thoughts you have, the more positive railroad tracks you have, the more positive railroad tracks you have. And the more you exercise your positive thoughts, the more positive thoughts you have. But the same goes with negative thoughts. And so when you build those positive thoughts, you have more of them. What I would encourage you to do is not only do that for yourself, but also do that for those around you. Personally, what I try to do is anytime that something catches my eye in a positive way, especially with a woman, I tell her. Because you never know what is going on in that woman's day. She may have had a terrible day. She may be filled with negative thoughts. And that one compliment, that one thing that you can say to her that is positive might build that one railroad track in her mind that turns all those negative thoughts around into that one positive thought that turns into another positive thought that gets her back on track in her day. When you pass a woman in the grocery store and she has on a beautifully colored purple blouse and you say, "I love the color of that blouse." And she looks at you with surprise and says, "Oh, thanks." Or maybe she even self-deprecatingly says, "Oh, I got this on Amazon." It doesn't matter. You have given her a positive thought. It was free. It cost you nothing. You gave it away. And maybe it gave her the thing she needed to boost her self-esteem in that very moment. It is also important that we learn to accept those compliments, because learning to accept those compliments boosts our own self-esteem. It affirms our own self-worth. It strengthens our own relationships. I want to give you 5 tips to improve your positive thoughts and to improve your self-image. First, if you don't believe in your own positive self-image, if you don't believe in yourself, if you're not going to be able to respond and say, "I know," when somebody says you're beautiful, then I want you to try to see yourself the way others see you. Ask your best friend. Ask somebody that loves you. How do others see me? And I'm not asking them for criticism. I'm asking them for the positive feedback. Ask them to pay you a compliment. What is the most positive thing that somebody can say to you as a compliment? And then believe them. Believe them. Don't argue with them. Believe them. Number 2, make a list of your positive qualities. This is not time for criticism of yourself. That's a different list. Make a list of your positive qualities. Every single one of them. Every one of them. All of them. I have great teeth. I have a great smile. My eyes light up. I don't know. All of the positive qualities. I'm really smart. All of the positive qualities that you have. Number 3, you hear people talk about gratitude journals. I want you to start a compliments journal. I want every day when you're journaling, I want you to write down 3 positive compliments to yourself. I want you to write down 3 positive compliments to yourself. Dear self, and I want you to pay yourself a compliment. You are smart. You are capable. You are strong. You're a great friend. You're a great sister. You're a loyal wife. Pay yourself 3 compliments every day. Number 4, I want you to look yourself in the mirror every single morning and tell yourself who you are. And I want you to do that until you believe it. And number 5 way to improve your positive thoughts is that the only job you have today is to just be that much better than you were yesterday. This is not a competition against everyone else. Life is not a competition with everyone else. That is a myth. That is a lie that society perpetrates on us. Life is only a competition with yourself. You are only in a competition with the person that you were yesterday. So all you have to do is be better than you were yesterday. That's it. There is enough success to go around for everybody. You do not have to compete with your girlfriends. You do not have to compete with the other people down the hallway that do what you do. All you have to do is be better than you were yesterday. So I want you to know that you are all beautiful. We should all take a lesson from the Barbie movie. You are beautiful. Now I want you to all answer with me. Are you ready? Answer with me now and say, I know. Thank you for joining us.